This is Helloween. This is Helloween. 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 Chameleon. Haha. All right. Now, I'm being cute and sneaky bringing that in that way for a reason. This is okay, so if you watch reviews, best does, blah, 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 about Helloween, and I've watched a couple now, top rankings, stuff like that. This album takes a lot of flack. And I understand why it takes a lot of flack. But compared to some of the stuff I've already listened to, it takes way too much flack. Okay, so if you're one of my regular viewers, I just covered the Walls of Jericho album, which I really was so horribly disappointed with. And I've done Keeper of the Seven Keys, part 1 and 2. So, like, honestly, going by the discography, this is the next album to do. And actually, this isn't the next album. The next album had not arrived until the night before I started recording this review, which would be the Pink Bubble Gum Crazy album, which I'll get to. It's coming. Be the next Helloween review. But we're doing Helloween Chameleon. All right, I've held that up long enough. I'm putting it down. This is the double disc special re-release version, which I will have to, when I get to the second disc, read the back of this. This was originally released in, I believe it was 93. Cannot blame grunge for this album and how different it is. Grunge, yes, it had been around for a year or two, but this is a German band. And while I do know that grunge did do a thing over in Europe and whatnot, I never hear of grunge being anywhere near as big as metal was over in Europe in this time period still. I could be wrong, but I not something I recall, This is a weird album, though. It's not a metal album. This is definitely more of a rock album, and it's a rock album of its time period. It's metal, but it's not metal. It's hard rock, but it's not hard rock. It's got little touches and flavors of everything. Like this really takes a lot of inspiration from a lot of different areas. So let me just get into the songs, okay? So the album opens up with First Time. This is fun. A bit cheesy, but definitely fun. It perfectly matches the concept of a teenage boy trying to sell a girl on, baby, we can have a real good time. And that's actually a line out of the song. It's a fun song. It is not a song to be taken seriously. One thing I'm trying to get my head wrapped around with Helloween is I'm so used to serious metal. And I mean, like, every metal album I've ever listened to has always been a very, very serious kind of metal album. Metal has always been a kind of serious thing, I've always had a kind of a sense of humor and stuff like that, and I always kind of got flack for it from guys in the band for writing cheesy lyrics, stuff like that from time to time. And when I listen to things like Helloween, it makes me go, are you fucking kidding me? This is the type of shit I used to catch flack for. It is what it is. From there, we move on to When the Sinner. This one got this really sexy kind of intro. The whole song in general reminds me of In Excess, but heavy. Like, if you took In Excess and made them a metal band, like, just change the sound so it went metal in the tone, totally what this song sounds like to me. I dig this one huge. It's totally worth checking out. And this is actually the very first song from this band that actually turned me on, made me go, oh, damn. And it's got some really good, fun sax work in it too, man. Saxophone in a metal, it works. It's good, man. It's really good. When the Sinner is definitely a song you gotta check out. I Don't Want to Cry No More. This is yet another really good song. Mostly acoustic. It's got a cool electric solo in it, for a little punch, just in the right spot. It's this one is definitely more in the vein of what you would expect from, say, like Mr. Big or Tesla or something like that around that time period when they do knock out a good strong acoustic number. Has that kind of vibe to it. Really, really nice. Um, but it's not a love song. It's not oh baby kind of song. The opening lines are, "Hey brother, I miss you. You knocked on heaven's door, and we won't see each other anymore." You know, this is a friend who's left, and you know you really miss your friend, and you just get to a point where you're tired of crying over your friend being gone. You really miss them. They're gone. You're never gonna get them back, but you've reached a point where you just can't do it. You just can't cry anymore. You know, that's kind of what this song is about. You know, it's about moving on and going forward. After that, we hit Crazy Cat. This one's kind of fun because it's rockabilly, but it's rockabilly with that swing kind of thing. Brian Seltzer Orchestra, Stray Cat Strut. Crazy Cat, I don't think is a clever play on name because really the song to me is just kind of like Stray Cat Strut, but metal. But really fun kind of song. Then we hit the first song on this album that it sounds very traditionally progressive kind of metal or Helloween style metal. The Helloween that I've come to know and respect Helloween. And by that I mean off the Helloween album, which I've already reviewed. Um, the drumming on it I find a little bit boring. Otherwise, it's a really good song. You know, it's a good album cut, deep, good album cut. Then we hit Windmill. And this song confuses the hell out of me. It's delightful, whimsical, and fantastic. And it would be totally at home on an album by Canadian folk legend Fred Penner, or the legendary Sharon Lois and Bram, or the first song that comes to mind every time I hear this is Puff the Magic Dragon. Peter, Paul, and Mary, folks. That's right. This song confuses the living shit out of me on this album. That sounds fantastic. And I'm going to come back around to this song because it shows back up on the second disc. When I come back around to it, it's going to blow your mind even more. The cool part about this is, yes, it has a little electric guitar solo in it. But the electric guitar solo in this would only be slightly out of place on a folk album by any of those people I just mentioned. Only slightly, like it sounds perfect in there. And when I say it's some Puff the Magic Dragon shit, man, I mean it. Like, I just totally eat this crap up. From there, we go into Revolution Now. Ooh, man. Okay, so when this album was playing through the first time, there was 4 of us sitting around playing a game listening to this. And 3 of us started singing Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away now. You know the whole, what you got to get, I just bit the inside of my lip, sorry. What you got to give it to your mama. What you got to give it to your papa. What you got to give it to your, well, my joke started being, what you got to give it, what you got to take it from the peppers. What you got is got to lift a little bass line. What you got is got a little funky. What I got to do is put too many little syllables. All right. So, we were saying that along with it because the bass line going on in there, man, it's not exactly the same riff, but it is really close. Like, you know, they were definitely inspired. And as this was 93, yes, they definitely would have lifted it from the Peppers, okay? Let's be very honest about this. Now, it's not totally like a give it away thing. Because while that whole kind of thing's going on, there's like this whole Judas Priest meets 4 non-blondes thing going on in there as well. Right? Okay. And then somewhere around the 3-minute and 23-second marker, it all of a sudden slips into that San Francisco tune, you know. If you were going to San Francisco. Yeah, it slips into that for like 20 seconds, and then it continues on with the rest of the song, man. It's just like, what the hell is going on? The song is brilliantly structured. brilliantly structured, even though it's all over the place. I previously had complained about the Walls of Jericho album, how they would hit what I call wall changes, where they hit a brick wall and just change rapidly. These changes all feel natural. They all flow within each other. It's very well structured and put together. Production on this is top notch. Look to the side for production notes on this one. This song, as much as I'm talking weird about it, it's a great song. It really is. It's not original in the slightest, but it totally feels original because of everything that's put together. Like, it's something new, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and it's all married together. From there we go to In the Night. This is Tesla Unplugged. Yep, 100% Tesla Unplugged. Best way to describe the song. Not knocking it either, man, because Tesla Unplugged, not bad, man. I can dig some Tesla Unplugged. Then we hit music. Now, this is not in any way related to music by Madonna, which was covered by Out of Your Mouth. That song was recorded years after this. A few years after this, anyways. This song, totally different vibe. But let me tell you, this is the perfect metal song from 1993 to talk about music. I mean, I remember 1993 well, and there is no other song in 1993 that talks about music the way that this song does. It is brilliant. Step Out of Hell. This song shows that this band learned how to write the perfect 80s metal song by 1993. Good tune? A little outdated. And then the album finishes off with Longing. Interesting choice to close off the album with. It is by far a very good track. Totally dig on this track. But not my choice for the closer. I think they really should have closed out with... Oh, I missed a song, sorry. I Believe. I totally skipped I Believe. My apologies. So it goes from Step Out of Hell to I Believe. And I Believe is this monstrously long, like 9-minute long epic track. It's totally proggy. Great structuring to it. Amazing flow. It would have been the perfect song to close out the album. Instead, they closed out with Longing. Now, Longing, on the other hand, if this had been vinyl or cassette, Longing would have been the perfect way to close out side one, just not close out the entire album. However, whereas most of this album is somewhere between the actual time and place that this album took place, so 1993, you know, like I said, there's a song right here, great example of a song from 1993. Another song in here, you know, great example of a song from the 80s. This song is actually like 5 to 10 years ahead of itself. Because it's an acoustic song with a bunch of orchestrated arrangements in it, and the sound of it, the production on it, everything with this particular song really sounds like it is a song that should have been released somewhere 98, 99, or later. You know, like it's... There's parts of it that sounds like Beyond the Black, which I just covered, you know, and their self-titled album, which was a 2023 album. You know, there's definitely parts in there. It sounds like it could have been on there. Sounds top choice. From there, let's move on to the second disc. These songs didn't make it on the album for one reason or another. And I'm going to look at the back here to tell me why. Now, some of these were taken from singles, so, you know, like, they're only on the single. They would be a B-side or whatnot. So, I Don't Care, You Don't Care. This was taken from the single When the Sinner. When the Sinner being a single makes sense. Great choice for a single. Now, the thing with I Don't Care, You Don't Care is this definitely sounds like a Def Leppard song from the early 80s. So we're talking like the first two albums of Def Leppard when they were cool. They were still technically new wave British heavy metal, okay? And yes, Def Leppard in the beginning was part of New Album. This song definitely has that vibe to it, this fit. This honestly would be a fun song to cover for a lot of bands. And part of the reason is the chorus, which is basically I don't care, you don't care, shit happens. It makes it fun. And that shit happens part is the only thing that keeps it from being a Def Leppard song. But otherwise, I could swear that this would have been a Def Leppard song. After that, we got Oriental Journey. This is an instrumental track. This is actually a pretty burning instrumental track, man. It really gets in there, gets going. Totally rips it up in all the right ways. This also was on the single, the Japanese single specifically for When the Sinner. These two songs, when this Oriental Journey. Okay, so Oriental, it's really weird when you say someone's Oriental. You can't say someone's Oriental, but you can say an Oriental journey, and it's not offensive. It's kind of weird, so I don't know how to talk about that properly. So to me, it feels weird that it was on the Japanese single. Just kind of, I don't know. Especially in 1993. And then again, maybe it's because it's a German band, and Germans. My name is Eschbach. I can make that joke, okay? All right. Bad joke. Poor taste, but I can make it. Okay. Oriental Journey, though, killer instrumental part. I think this should have been on the album proper instead of put to the side, and it could have switched out. It could have switched out for a couple songs. Then you got Cut in the Middle. This is a kind of a basic album cut. It was nothing special. This was a single taken off Windmill. Windmill was a single, man. Figure that one out. Oh, when you hear that song, you're going to be like, how the hell was this a single? Whose idea was this? It is a song, a great song, but not a song I would have made a single. Because it's just too folky. Like what hard rock metal station is going to play it? It was way too folky for hard rock and metal stations. Next up, we got Introduction. This was also taken from the single for Windmill. This is funny. This is really funny. It's this great little screw around B-side joke kind of bit. It's really enjoyable. And if you don't enjoy this, you probably aren't listening properly. If you've ever listened to it, you'll get the joke. All right, Get Me Out of Here. This is also from Windmill. Now, Get Me Out of Here is actually the song that is played during the joke bit of Introduction. And it is definitely a Kiss kind of song, man. All right, we're on to another instrumental song. And this has an insanely great title for an instrumental song. And it ranks right up there with I'm Gonna Skull Fuck Whoever Trampled My Lilies for an instrumental song title. I absolutely love Red Sox and the Smell of Trees. Just the title is just hilarious. The song itself is fantastic. The instrumental bit, really, really good. Basically, it's this killer ass blues jam, more or less. Really, really enjoyable. I can see why it wasn't on the album, but I think it maybe deserved more than just a single. And it was a single off of I Don't Want to Cry No More. And that one definitely should have been a single more than Windmills was. But I really feel that by focusing on the two lighter songs and only one of the heavier songs, they kind of lost out on opportunities, possibly. If they had released Crazy Cat or Music, possibly might have done better in North America, might have picked up a little more of a fan base, maybe might have gotten some radio play. After that, we got Ain't Got Nothing Better. This is also taken from the single I Don't Want to Cry No More. Yet again, this is another blues rock number. Really kind of hard rock for 1993. You know, it's got that great hard rock kind of sound. Really enjoyable album cut. Another song that could have made for a really good album. And then you got Windmill, previously unreleased demo version. Okay, so take everything I said about the previous version of Windmill, and then you're going to strip it back. Yes, you're going to take the previous version and you're going to strip it back right down to basically a folk acoustic song core. And Tracy argues that this is the better version. I do not disagree with Tracy's argument. Do I think it is the right song to close out the second album? Yes, actually, it is the right song to close out the second album as well. I will listen to this over and over again. I do think that there may have been some tactical errors, or there should have been a second album released. This album maybe should have been cut down a little bit. Maybe take one of the instrumental tracks, okay? If you had taken Oriental Journey or Red Sox and The Smell of Trees, either one of those, put them on the album, and then you had pulled two of the more rock kind of songs off this album. So, say Step Out of Hell and even Longing. If you had taken those two off of here, you could have put them together with all the other bonus tracks that were on here and made another album, which I think would have been really good. I would have to spend a little time really kind of plotting this out, and I'll put it up here how I'll split it up on the screen. You'll see it in the border. How I'd split it up into two separate albums, but I probably would split this into two separate albums, and I think they could have done really better. I think they could have gotten some actual North American rock success if they had released it as two separate albums, if they had released a metal album and a rock album at the same time. I mean, it was kind of a thing at this time, right? They'd already released tried to release a double album. Why not do another one? I don't know. Great album though. I don't know why it gets the hate that it gets. I think it's really cool. I think with the bonus tracks on here, it's even better. I highly recommend you check it out, man. If you have never checked out Helloween before, this is a good spot to start. I really think this is a cool spot to start, man. Not perfect, really weird. Got a mix of everything. Not even much of a metal album, but it's really kind of cool that way because it's not much of a metal album. It's a great mix of stuff. Anyways, my thoughts, my views, my opinions. That's what the comment section's for. Let me know what your thoughts, views, and opinions are. Am I overcrediting this album? I don't know. I hope they play a lot of this album live when I go to see them. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Well, you're going down to the comment section. There's a little link that will take you to Patreon. Feel free to throw me some money that way. I don't have locals out yet. I got to get it out there soon. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the little bell from notifications. That helps me out, helps you out, helps me out some more. Peace, love, take care.